Okay, so here's the thing. We've made videos talking about the first overall projected pick in the 2023 NHL Entry Draft, Connor Bedard. We also made one video going over a trade idea involving the potential second overall pick Matvei Michkov, but this video right here is going over a guy whose name pretty much deserves to be in that same category. Now, do I think this guy is going to go first? Absolutely not. I think it's Connor Bedard's spot to lose, and it does not look like, so far, that Mr. Bedard, Lego Rocks 99 YouTube mod himself, is going to lose out on that opportunity. But when it comes to second overall, I think it's really starting to become a more and more legit possibility that Mr. Matvei Michkov, the Alex Ovechkin number 2 himself, might not actually be number 2 on the 2023 draft stage. Because when it comes to this player right here, a guy whose name has been kind of scattered around the draft conversation here and there for the past few years, this is really a player whose name has excelled so much the past few games that I think you really need to keep your eyes on him. Let's head over to the University of Michigan Wolverines and go over 2023 draft-eligible prospect Adam Fantilli. Because when it comes to Fantilli and what he's done so far, the 18-year-old 6'2", 187 as a left-handed center playing in the NCAA is consolidatedly ranked as the third overall guy. Bob McKenzie has him at 3, Craig Button has him at 3, Sportsnet has him at 3, and Dalibor also has him at 3. However, if you go over to the hockey news, they actually have Fantilli at number 2. Why is that? Well, the October 12, 2004 born forward, as we said, is playing for the Michigan Wolverines, and so far in the 5 games the Wolverines have played, Fantilli has 11 points. Now, points are points, and they can mean whatever or they can mean very little. It really depends on who you ask. But before we go over how he plays, let's just go over the points right here and why this is such a big deal. Now, the NCAA is a hockey league primarily composed of adults. Everybody there is over the age of 18. It's not a junior league by any means. And if you want to go out there and talk about the range of athletes in the NCAA per season, you have guys that are 18, 19 years old. These are normally the really good, young, gifted hockey players coming over from American Junior Leagues or BCHL, AJHL, Junior A hockey leagues in Canada. And you have some players in the NCAA that range upwards of 24, 25, sometimes even 26 years old. The NCAA, all things considered, is an adult league, and Adam Fantilli is going out there literally tied for second in the entire collegiate system in total points. He is not a 23-year-old who has been in the NCAA for a long freaking time. You go over to the guys that he is outproducing. Jacob Lee playing for RPI, which is Rensselaer Polytechnic Institution. He is 23 years old. AJ Vanderbeck for Northern Michigan University. Guess how old this guy is? He's 25. Ture Linden out of Penn State. He's playing over here in the NCAA. He's 25 as well. Adam Fantilli is playing on one of the best NCAA teams, I get that, but he also has the most points in the league as an 18-year-old. If you go over to the NCAA's historical data and you search for all seasons under the age of 19, so anybody who is U19, 17, 18, etc. years old, and you sort by points per game, Adam Fantilli legitimately has the 7th best season so far, only being matched by guys whose names you're not really familiar with. John Mayasich played in the 50s. Gordon McMillan was in the 40s. Douglas Kelso was a guy who played apparently at 11 years old for one game with Wisconsin in the 70s. There really is only one player here in the NCAA whose name is actually comparable to Adam Fantilli, and that's Paul Kariya, who in 1992-1993 had a 100-point season in 39 games played. Of course, though, that was 30 years ago. So for Adam Fantilli, if you turn over to the century mark, let's just go over to 2000, 2001, up until this season. Adam Fantilli's 2.2 points per game so far is leagues ahead of the 18-year-old seasons from guys like Brock Besser, Clayton Keller, Mike Camilleri, Zach Parise, Jaden Schwartz, and Jack Eichel. If you do, Adam Fantilli's 5-game played and 11-point mark over the span of 40 games, which is what Eichel had in 2014-15. Let's see if I can do this off the top of my head. So 40 divided by 5 is 8, so 11 multiplied by 8 is 88 points. He's on pace for 88 points in 40 games. Jack Eichel had 71 in the same span 7 years ago. And if you go back to 2015, I mean, everybody was talking about how good Connor McDavid was and how much of a generational player he was and everything. Jack Eichel was right there behind him, and the common consensus was that if Jack Eichel was born in any other year, let's say he was going up against Nathan McKinnon from Halifax, he was going up against Aaron Ekblad from the Barrie Colts, he was going up against Yakupov, he was going up against the Taylor Halls and the Nugent Hopkins, Eichel would have been first. Now, if you go out there and you say Eichel versus Matthews, I think it's easy to say that Matthews could have been first, but then again, for Jack Eichel, this guy was so incredibly good before all the crap happened with his surgery and Buffalo being bad that at the same time, I mean, just being mentioned in the same breath as Eichel, I feel is already good enough. Adam Fantilli has gone out there and absolutely dominated in comparison to what the now Vegas Golden Knights forward accomplished in the same age range. Let's go over to a few tweets talking about Adam Fantilli. Scott Wheeler says, he had a hat trick yesterday. That's 11 points in his first 5 NCAA games. One of the best starts in the history of college hockey by a teenage freshman. Cam Robinson says that Adam Fantilli is straight up slicing through the NCAA competition. He's got 3 goals and 9 shots tonight, giving him 4 goals and 11 points in 5 games. He is averaging 5.2 shots per game. If Bedard wasn't in this draft, would Fantilli go number 1, Drew asks. Cam says not only that, he would have gone first last year if he was a couple of weeks older. Cam is going out there and saying that if Fantilli was just born a few weeks earlier, because he was born on October 12th, 2004, he could have gone first overall instead of Yuri Slafkovsky. To top it all off, we're going over onto Dobber Prospects and reading what Evan Pace wrote about when it comes to Adam Fantilli and his overall talent profile. This was written back in September 2022, before the NCAA stint started. He is one of the most unique prospects in recent draft memory. After an outstanding year in the USHL with the Chicago Steel, where he registered 37 goals and 37 assists in 54 games, he is heading over to Michigan for his draft year and will be one of the youngest players in college hockey. However, Fantilli plays a mature, physical game in addition to his elite-level skill set, so he won't look too out of place once the season gets going. The 6'3 centerman plays a very well-rounded game, always fighting to get possession of the puck in the defensive zone and using his intelligence to anticipate the play well. He's a powerful yet quick skater with great edges and four-way mobility. With his elite shot, he's able to beat goalies from range, but he can also find the tape of his teammates just as well. He's got exceptional hands too, being able to handle in tight and through traffic. Simply put, Adam Fantilli is a dangerous offensive threat with the puck and without it, as he's able to read the defense and attack areas of weakness. This year in the NCAA, he might not have the same dominance as he did in juniors, but in time, he'll find a way to make a significant impact this season. Now, Fantilli last year was extraordinarily dominant in the USHL for the Chicago Steel, getting 74 points in 54 games played. However, I don't think anybody would have predicted this, where the guy's at 2 points a game in the NCAA, going out there just shattering the competition with hat tricks, with beautiful goals. I'd been seeing so many scouts on my timeline talk about how Fantilli is manhandling men, playing a men's game amongst guys that are a lot older than him, and coming out on top in the process. This is why Matvei Michkov does not have a guaranteed spot at second overall. Sure, Michkov might have the Ovechkin-like status of being able to score goal after goal after goal, but combine the contract situation with the other talent that's available, and Adam Fantilli all of a sudden looks like a guy that could be first overall caliber had it not been for Connor freaking Bedard. So, talk in the comments your thoughts about Fantilli and the profile he has, as well as the projection so far. I mean, He's at 2 points a game, over 2 points a game, and he looks very comfortable doing it. Let me know your thoughts about Fantilli in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, Trolls 99, and bye.